Γεια σας όλους σας, είναι ο JohnyThan εδώ και καλώς ήρθατε πίσω στο 14 Days With You, παιδιά. Μπορεί αυτό ή τα άλλα δύο επόμενα βίντεο που θα παίξουμε να είναι τα τελευταία, γιατί όπως είπαμε αυτό είναι το demo μόνο και είμαστε μόνο 2-3, θέλουμε μόνο νομίζω άλλα 2-3 επεισόδια και αυτό το τελευταίο για να το περάσουμε αυτό το παιχνίδι μια και καλή, γιατί πώς το λένε, είναι μόνο το demo και να μαντέψω ότι οι δημιουργοί προσπαθούν να το κάνουν πολύ μεγάλο το παιχνίδι για να έχουμε και άλλους χαρακτήρες που να είναι ρομαντικά, να πηγαίνουν με ραντεβού. Προσπαθούν οι δημιουργοί τώρα να τα κάνουν έτσι πολλά. Αλλά τέλος πάντων, συγγνώμη τώρα, δεν ξέρω και τι είπα. Ας προχωρήσουμε μπροστά εκεί που μείναμε. An hour files by and somehow manages to get dressed, style hair and finish breakfast in record. With nothing else left to do, I decided to might as well kill time in my entry by picking out which shoes to wear. But just as I stop in front of the shoes rack, something near the front door catches my eye. A letter. Odd, my door doesn't have a tetra box, so I usually have to visit the front desk to collect my mail, sorry. That is if Violet doesn't bring it up for me. So what was this doing here? Curiously gets the better of me, and I found myself scooping up the letter and opening it. Inside was nothing more than a folder, more written in red ink, and was that a lock of light blonded hair? What the... Did this belong to Eleanor? A chill runs down my spine once I realize what exactly this item is, and I hesitantly scan the rest of the note for answers. It simply read, I think she might need a new lock as well, don't you think? And don't bother warning her about this, I'll know. Let's keep this between us, alright? It'll be our little secret. What the hell was this? Was this somehow tied to that asshole who broke into my apartment a few days ago, or was it someone else entirely? Though admittedly, whoever this stalker was, they were honestly doing a pretty bad job at making their intention clear. I mean, what exactly were they trying to accomplish by doing this? Ποιος ξέρει, να μπουνε στο σπίτι σου? Did they want me to stay away from Eleanor as well, or just keep silent? What did they get out of blackmailing me like this? And why target Eleanor specifically? None of this made any sense. And now that I give it more thought, I still wasn't sure what they want from me. Either why go through all this trouble in the first place? It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong. Maybe moving back to the bay wasn't a good idea after all. I mean, I left the happiness and turmoil of the city behind for a reason. I wanted fresh air and new faces and a more easygoing lifestyle thing I'd never get in the city, and now it seems like history is only repeating itself once more. I thought I could live a peaceful life here with my new job and friends, and now I've somehow found myself in more trouble than I could ever ask for. And what's worse is that after denying my own paranoia for so long, this was all it took to convince me that my potential instructor really was real after all. Shit, maybe Violet was right. I remember brushing off her concerns because the idea of stalker seemed to so far fetches to me, especially given Coral Bay's innocuous reputation. But now, Immediately, a big part of me wanted to see if Violet was still home, but another part kept me rooted in place. Would it be safe? What if Introduce was still lurking outside? Bzz, bzz. Suddenly my phone goes off, shared the living daylight out of me, so much so that I end up dropping it on the hardwood floor and clambering to pick it up back up in a panic. Shit. With shaking hands, I forgot looking for any damp and cracks in the screen as I tried to discern the reason for the noise instead. The letter T shows up where the caller ID should be alongside a contract photo of someone abs that I don't remember talking, which could only mean one thing. Tia was calling. It takes a few failed attempts, but I somehow managed to press the answer button and respond with a shaky tone. Hello? Well, damn doll, you should like you just woke up, no planning on sleeping and air you. What? No, Good, cause I'm outside your apartment right now. Your neighborhood looks like shit. By the way, smells like it too. Hey, did you seriously call me just to make fun of where I live? I called to tell you to hurry up unless you want to walk to the aquarium. In fact, maybe I should just... damn it. Well, if it isn't Miss Priest all by her lonesome. Oops, she looks mad. Tia's voice particularly oozes smokes as he taunts whoever it is he's talking to, most likely Violet, before I hear him adjust the phones and continues speaking. Adjust. Oi, Dollyfish, hurry up, won't you? He hands up before I can mutter out a response. But still, knowing that Tia was downstairs somehow gives me the confidence to leave the safety of my home. Though note, before committing the state of my apartment to memory and triple checking my lock. I have mind to quickly snap photos of everything to see if anything was touched in my absence, but I doubt I have enough time still. If my stalker decided to come back again, I'd want to know. But now that I'm thinking about photos, this gives me the perfect opportunity to struggle on some security cameras. I'd been meeting them for quite some time now anyway. With all this talk of violent crimes, death, wounded, and murder happening on the news lately, and now this intruder, I figure it'd be better to be safe than sorry. So deciding to let Tio suffer even just a little bit at the hands of Violet, I pull out my phone to scroll through some home security bundles on sale as I make my way towards the lobby. Tio ended up being incredible, quite thoughtful, the driver, and if I were being honest, I appreciate the silence. It was definitely odd not having our typical playful banter, but it also hasn't something I needed first things in the morning. He also doesn't seem in the mood to be disrupted, given how he clenches the well with one hand while the other supports his head against with window ledge like some emergency 10. So I try to settle further into the admittedly comfy seat of his luxury car and focus my attention on the scenery as it passes by. It isn't long before the aquarium comes into view as Teal looks around for a decent place to park. We must pick a busy day to visit considering the amount of cars parked both outside and in the server's parking area, though Tio seems to have somewhere in mind. Huh? I watch as I drive straight past a very clearly labeled no-go zone and pulls up into one of the empty space without so much as a reaction. He doesn't even wait for me to get out before he opens his door and walks to the front of the car, and not waiting to be left behind, I quickly follow suit. Theo? I was about to question whether he was allowed to park in the employee zone in the first place, but given how he shamelessly pulls down one of the warning signs and tosses it into a bus, I figured that was my answer. It doesn't take long before he right by the side once more and ushers me towards the front entrance. I almost stumble over my feet as Theo pulls me along, but not before almost blowing him over as he abruptly stops in front of me. Heh! Look at that, almost like a loyal dog, isn't he? Glancing in the direction he was pointing, I see Leon sitting on one of the benches as he absently watches people go by. And once he catches sight of us, he immediately leaps to his feet and rushes over with a wave and arm smile. It's a good thing he doesn't bite. At that snaky comment, I nudged Theo with my elbow and sent him an eye roll. I doubt he takes any notice of it, though, since Leon arrivals takes up all of our attention. Hey yo, look sound selfish. No, you're not so bad yourself, Arshif. Hello, I'm here too. Eleanor hasn't arrived yet. Scoffing at our playful dismissal, Theo cracks a joint in his neck and crosses his tattooed arms. However, he doesn't seem to stray from the spot, which meant that he still had an interest in our conversation. At his almost clicked reaction, Leon shoots his friends a cheeky, imperceptible smile before continuing. I'm sure she's on her way. She said something about wanting to get her step in our group chat. Is that why she didn't want Theo picking her up? And actually, I don't know if you realized, but you guys were 15 minutes early. Really? Pfft. No thanks to Theo spending, I guess. And what about you? I'm guessing you had to walk all the way here, right? Haha, there's nothing wrong with getting a bit of exercise in the morning. I'm sure Eleanor would agree. And I just got here, actually. Really? 'Cause it looked like you were sitting on that bench for a while. I just sat down. Long enough to stretch your legs, huh? Okay, yeah, so maybe I did arrive half an hour early. But I was excited. It's been a while since we've been to the aquarium. Even longer since you've seen Dollface over here, I bet. Huh? Can ya blame me? We've been separated for years now. We're finally reunited again. It must be fate. No, destiny. Playing along with Leon dramatics, I lean against his side and clutch at the spot above my heart. It's written in the stars. You guys are genuinely so embarrassing. Hearing Theo huff once more, Leon and I both watch as he tries to distract himself by looking at the poster on the wall. No doubt figuring interesting that wasn't like Theo really cared much for marine life. All his world revolved around was wealth and luxury, tech companies, and probably starting fires. Yeah, definitely starting fires. Though for a guy who spends most of his time in the shadow of his father's legacy, I had to hand it to him. Theo was seemingly more down to earth than other people I've met. He didn't even to spend time with us. He did, and as much as I hated offering jokes about not wanting to affiliate himself with people outside his tax bracket, Theo sure seemed to like hanging out with Jay, Leon, and me. I wonder, does he ever feel lonely? Υποθέτω πως να είσαι μόνος σου τόσες ώρες στο σπίτι. Before my thoughts can devolve any further, I feel a gentle nudge at my side. Looking to my left, I see Leon peering at me with a curious expression. You know, I'm really glad you came, but I'm also honestly surprised you agreed to this. Surprised? What do you mean? Well, you know, is Ren okay with this? Ren? The guy we met at the pier the other day, he said something about being your boyfriend. Oh, right, my boyfriend. Ναι, είναι το αγόρι μου υποθέτω. Whether or not it was because I wanted to shake my calm over Ren, or because he confidently declared himself as my boyfriend a few days ago, I couldn't help but it slip. But Leon seems to pick up on the hesitations within my words, given how he unquestionably disses his head and sends me a reassuring smile. Is it still a new thing for you? I'm sure calling someone your boyfriend must take some time to get used to. Take things at your own pace. It was strange hearing this kind of advice from Leon, especially after practically lying to him, but I wasn't going to say anything. We've been friends for so long, yet the topic of dating had never seemed to come up between us, much less something more extreme like settling down or getting married. At that, I recall a fond memory from my youth. A younger version of ourselves greet me as they in Nonex plays a game of pretend on the playground. I can see Leon in all of Bosch's clan as he promised to marry me from atop the side before he slides down it and runs to my side in glee. He seems all too happy to run circles around me while he shoots to the sky about protecting me from bad guys, yet something else was missing from this scene, something I could fully remember. What was it? As long as he's chill with this, yeah. I wouldn't want any misunderstanding to happen. Great, I have been spazzing out again. Not wanting to offer in Leon with my license, I tried to make sense of his word before coming up with some response of my own. Oh, yeah, he's fine with it. Probably. Besides, I only agreed to this outing because Eleanor genuinely seems like she wanted to go. And it's not like this is a date anyway, so he don't sweet it, Angel, and no need to explain yourself either. I get what you're saying. I'm sure everything. Leo cut himself off when he noticed something behind me, and when I turn around to look, I see Eleanor running up to the group with a flustered expression on her face. But as she draws near, she clumsily trips on the stray piece of cobble and tumbles forward. Ah! Without thinking, I launch forward to close the gap between us, but Theo's muscular arms beats me to it. Almost effectually, he reaches out to catch her, almost like those circle romance movies. Expect not at all, because Theo was allergic to anything romantic. A fact that impressed by the look of pure distance on his face as he pulled my co-worker to her feet. Eleanor seems to be blissfully enjoying every moment of it, though, seeing as she practically clutches onto his be sipped while looking up with her wide sparkling eyes. In fact, I doubt she was even aware of our presence with how she stays rooted in Theo's awkward embrace. Looks like she really tells for him, huh? Pfft. You're as bad as Jade with those puns. Haha, she's rubbing off on me. Come on, let's go see if she's okay. Okay. As it turns out, Eleanor really was okay being capable inside the arms of Theo. But the moment only lasted until Leon and I rejoined the group with a knowing smile on our faces. Theo applied cloak and choosing not to say anything, and out of solidarity, or perhaps for future backlining, neither do we. And soon enough we all found ourselves waiting in line to buy atmosphere tickets. Eleanor happily takes photos of us, Theo scrolls through his phone, and Leon stands beside me to look at all the colorful fish in the small tanks. This is all rather exciting, don't you think? Really? It's just fish. Oi, come on mate, show a bit more enthusiasm, yeah? If you love him that much, wait till you find out what's at the beach. I want to apologize in advance for him. No, it's fine. I'm sure Theo has other interests that excite him. Fish, you aren't particularly one of them. Wanna know what makes me excited? Leon and I both share a look before rolling our eyes, breaking tail light and slashing tires. Wait. Shaking tires, isn't that illegal? Probably. I'm just messing with you, princess. Loosen up a little. I love quickly the limit-haired mood gets replaces while something serious as Leon's phone starts buzzing. Recognizing flashes across my childhood friend's face as he looked at the screen before he awkwardly scratches at the back of his neck and points towards the entrance with his thumb. Sorry guys, give me a sec. Without waiting for a response, Leon makes a beeline for the front door. After a few seconds, I see his figure energy from outside the large windows, passing back and forth on the sidewalk as he talks to someone on the phone. Judging by the sullen expression on his face, I can only guess that the call isn't a good one. I sure hope everything's alright. To cut up Leon's shift in the manner, I barely notice how Eleanor handing gently pushes Theo and forward so they can speak to the clear at the front desk. Bored attitude shoulders now block my view from the window, which causes me to shift my attention back to the present. But Theo doesn't seem to notice my lack of focus, or perhaps he just doesn't care, as he pulls out a black card from his wallet and leans over me to hand it to the woman behind the counter. She could have gone without the nonchalant, smug look at his face, but I wasn't about to say anything when he was literally about to pay for my admission free. But before I could beg thank him, Eleanor, excited voice cut me off. Oh, do you suppose there will be shows today as well? I saw some at West outside. Oh yeah, I wasn't paying much attention to them. Hehe. I hope there will be pregnants. Perhaps Leon would enjoy them. What about me? I don't suppose you like sharks. I can hear the clear crimps in the information on the latest hospital and what shows were playing, but I shut it all out when I noticed Leon standing idly near the doorway, still spotting the concerned look on his face. Without missing a beat, I make my way over to his side and space him an appreciative glance. I'm real sorry about all that, Angel, but something come up involving my mom at the hospital. Oh no, is everything okay? Ναι, είναι καλά η μαμά σου. Yeah, nah, mom's fine. It's just some important paperwork I need to fill out on her behalf, you know, since dad is still working aboard and all. I'm so sorry, but I really got to go. I'll try to come back as soon as I'm. Hey, don't sweat it, Leon. Focus on your mother first. I don't miss the way his entire manner soften at my concern. Leon looks as though he wants to say something serious, but holds himself back at the very last second. As if the compromise, I ended up filling the silence instead. I'm sure I can survive third-wheeling Theo and Eleanor's date alone. Geez, I really own ya one. Actually, you know what? Here. Before I can refuse, Leon slows a stack of small bills into my plans and closes his hands around it. Hey, you don't have to, besides Theo's already paid for everything just now. Nah, I won't be hearing anything from you. If you won't accept it, then spend it all on something for me instead. Yeah, go to town in the souvenir shop. See if they have any sunfish merch in there. Alright, thank you, Leon. No worries, darl. But I really got to go now, though. I'll tell Mom you said hi. Leon turns on his heels before I had the chance to respond to his completely missed me and waving him off. In his rush, he almost knocks someone over, but he quickly helps them regain their footing and apologize before spending off once more. Man, I sure hope everything is okay with his mother. Before I can dwell on it any longer, the sweet melody of Eleanor's laughter pulls me from my thoughts, and I turn back towards the group. I notice that Theo and Eleanor are now standing by the entrance, which also happening to double as a massive underwater tunnel, all while pointing to a school of fish swimming over their heads. When Eleanor notices my presence, she happily waves me over before her attention sniffs towards the door behind me, no doubt expecting to see Leon walk back in and join us. It made sense considering how they missed his departure, but she snaps out of her curious daze the moment Theo brushes a hand against her back to move her out of the way of a family passing by. But what truly shocks me is that he doesn't seem to move his hand. Instead, Theo leaves in there as he steps closer and blocks my co-worker from my view. He meets my gaze with an intense unbelief expression, and I can't help but look away. What was that all about? Suddenly the moment felt too personal for my liking, almost as if I should be looking at something so limited. Turning away, I decided to channel my interest into picking out a boot map from the Burton stand inside it. Theo's and Eleanor were planning on getting cozy when it's although I needed to plan my escape route. But before I move away, I notice a lone aquarium tank off the side. It was far enough from the eyes of the people still waiting in the quite, but still close enough to the entrance and that any passers-by to come in and take a look. Inside were country's amount of colorful fish, coral and other sea crustaceans, and I couldn't help but look in a way of some of the bright marine life as they float about in the water. If only Leon could join us, I could almost hear his laughter at some of the symphonies-like creatures that swim by. Keeping the rest of the group inside, I stray slightly to the right for a better vantage point. A group of neon terra fish zip past and my eyes follow them as they swim around. They easily stand out against the bright orange and green colors, and especially the pink and blue. Wait, pink and blue? Oren? Oren! And peering closer to the glass, I catch sight of a familiar face on the other side of the tank. Ren doesn't... wait a minute. Ren doesn't seem to notice me yet, singly far impressed by the colors creatures as they swim by. His soft eyes follow some of the similar fish as they dart across the tank before swapping over this group of purple swimming past. Suddenly our eyes meet. Περίμενε. Δεν μπορώ και να το σώσω τώρα. Suddenly our eyes meet a moment, the fish splits up and I watch as Ren experiences moves from surprise and sweet looks. He tries to say something but his words comes out inaudible due to the glass separating us. As if releasing, Ren instead points to one of the fish off to the side before resting his hand on the glass and mouthing something else. I still can't fully understand what he was trying to say, that is, until my eyes had on what he was pointing at, catching me off guard. What in a way was a lone fish swims between us and captures both of our attention. Was that unnecessary? Fish? The fond memory from our time at the fair comes to mind, and I find myself thinking back to when affectionately gave me that nickname. And had I known any better, I would have assumed that he was thinking about the same thing, given the way his eyes glisten and soften as the fish scales shimmer under the optical light. To absorb in how pictures this is all looked a complete miss. Ren swift the pressures that is until he's rounding the corner of this fish tank and taking his place by my side. Hi Angel. Και εδώ είναι που θα το σώσουμε, υποθέτω. Γιατί δεν μπορούσα να το σώσω από πριν. Okay. Θα το σταματήσουμε μέχρι εδώ το βίντεο. Προσπάθησα να το σταματήσω από πριν, αλλά ξαφνικά τι έγινε. Μου είχε σταματήσει απλώς μέχρι εκεί που ήταν ο Ren από την άλλη άκρη στο γυάλινο πράγμα. Το έχουμε σώσει, που σημαίνει ότι είμαστε τώρα ασφαλείς. Αλλά τέλος πάντων, θα μάθουμε στο επόμενο επεισόδιο τι θα γίνει. Και ποιος ξέρει πόσο κοντά ή μακριά είμαστε τώρα για το τέλος του demo. Εκτός κι αν δεν είναι τώρα το demo, ό,τι δείξει. Πρέπει να πω ότι αυτή η περιπέτεια με αυτό το παιχνίδι είναι πιο μεγάλη από το Doki Doki μέχρι στιγμής. Φυσικά το Doki Doki είναι 7 ώρες και αυτό επίσημα είναι πολύ μεγάλο από το παιχνίδι και το παίζουμε τώρα συχνά, τώρα δεν ξέρω πόσο. Και δεν ξέρω τι ακριβώς θα γίνει μετά. Αλλά το μόνο πράγμα που ελπίζω είναι να καταφέρουμε να τα ξαναβρει πάλι ο Ren με την τέτοια. Βασικά εμείς οι δύο ήδη τα βρίσκουμε με τον Ren. Αλλά τι θα γίνει τώρα στη συνέχεια που τα ξαναβρήκαμε πάλι και παρόλο που ήταν στην άλλη άκρη στο γυάλινο πράγμα. Ό,τι δείξει. Αλλά τέλος πάντων, θα σταματήσω μέχρι εδώ. Αν σας άρεσε παιδιά, μην ξεχάσετε να βάλετε μια εγγραφή και να like σε αυτό εδώ το βίντεο. Και στο επόμενο επεισόδιο θα δούμε τι θα γίνει. Και πάντοτε θα σας δω στο επόμενο βίντεο. Γεια σας!